everybody to the public market. If you've never been here before, this definitely will not be your last time here. If you're here all the time, I'm the new face. My name's Terry Dowd, and I am the Parmesan Princess. I've created the website and also work with chefs, restaurants, and local businesses to talk about everything about Pittsburgh. We are so lucky here to have the best food, the best restaurants, the best chefs, the best grocery, the best farms, and people are finally figuring this out. So let's start with our sauce. Olive oil in the pan. We want to get the garlic going a little bit. The olive oil today is from the Olive Tap, which is a vendor right down to the right. Today I chose Cobra Cosa, which is from Portugal. It is a light, medium olive oil, so it's not too spicy and it's not so light that you feel like you're gonna blow up whatever you're cooking. It has a buttery finish, great with tomatoes. Chop some garlic. So we're just gonna finely chop the garlic. Now I say golden garlic because to brown the garlic, you see the little sizzle, you don't wanna burn it. It'll just ruin the sauce, whatever you're making. Like I said, it's no shame in throwing it out. I do it all the time. We're gonna let that golden up a little bit and open our tomatoes. Traditional Sicilian sauce is canned tomatoes, and they often had to use tomato paste to thicken it up. The cool thing about these San Marzano tomatoes is they're already thick and they're in a juice that's like halfway between a goo and a liquid. So it's perfect for your sauce because you don't have to worry about thickening it up or anything like that. Look, it's chunky, they're whole, they have a little leaf in there. You're gonna break them up a little bit as you go and as they cook. I add two things in my sauce, basil and rosemary. You wanna get these little leaves off the stem. So I find that the easiest way is just to kind of push it off like that and then chop it. Chopping is sometimes confusing because it's like, how do you do it when you're chopping herbs? But if you just push it into a pile and just keep going, they all ending up small. Okay, so we're gonna add a couple tablespoons of basil, and then we'll do a couple tablespoons of rosemary, salt, pepper. This is your basic marinara sauce. And you're gonna, smush the tomatoes. You can cook this for an hour or two and just have a tomato sauce. At that point, you're gonna put a lid on it and let it cook on low to medium for either an hour or two if you're just making like a basic marinara, or if you want the meat in it, let it cook all day. Now the meatballs contain cheese. We are doing a cheese called Sgoeet from Wheel and Wedge here. I also added Parmesan, but I wanted to do the Pecorino too because they pair so nicely together and melt so well. Now this fresh ground beef came from also Clarion Farms beef. So let's put the ground beef in a bowl. So look how fresh this beef is from John Scott. I mean, you can tell just by looking at it. It doesn't have the brown, it's not runny, it's just perfect. Then we're gonna add in our chopped garlic. 2 or 3 cloves usually. I know it's a lot, but so I don't know, in our family, we always say the more garlic, the better. We're gonna add an egg, 1 per pound. So we're gonna do about a cup of cheese per pound. So about a cup of cheese. So we did a Parmesan Reggiano from Penn Mac, and also the Sgoeet cheese from the Wheel and Wedge. Salt and pepper, just to taste, you'll figure it out. I do about like 10 shakes of each. So you're gonna just mash it all together with your hands. Key is in the mix. This is what my grandpa always says, my pap-ap, Sam Signorino from Johnstown, PA. He says it's in the mix. When you make sausage, as good as your sausage is gonna be is how well it's mixed. It's mixed pretty well. I add the breadcrumbs, about a half a cup. These are Cento plain breadcrumbs from Penn Mac. You can make your own breadcrumbs. If you keep the ends, just put them in the oven and let them all harden, and then just grind them. Mix all that together. I think we need some more cheese. What do you think? Add a little more cheese. Now I bake these meatballs for about 10 minutes before I throw them in the sauce. With the cheese, it just kind of sets them. So that's always a good idea. You can just throw them in. If you're doing your all-day sauce and you're throwing pork bones and everything in, just throw the meatballs in with it. They'll cook. Eventually, they'll all cook. So we're ready to roll them. So I do just like 1/2 inch for something like this. You can do bigger meatballs, but it's going to take longer to cook. Then you have to worry about the middle cooking if they're, if you want to do these gigantic meatballs. So I would say bite size is perfect. We'll put them on a cookie sheet and just bake them for 10 minutes. I'll throw them in the sauce a little bit just to get the flavor. So 350, about 10 minutes or so. You'll see they'll brown up and perk up, and they'll have a little bit of cheese at the bottom. My name is Terry Dowd, and I'm the creator of ParmesanPrincess.com. Today I made a traditional Sicilian Sunday sauce as well as cheesy meatballs, and you can watch me on Sgoeet.com.